From the impossibly rare to completely breaking the game.
He's a god!
Here's the top 25 mythics in Fortnite history. Kicking things off at number 25, it's the mythic goldfish. Back at the start of chapter 2, this thing was insanely rare.
It's the rarest fish the world's ever seen.
Fortnite said the chances of catching one were literally 1 in a million. But if you got lucky enough to pull it, you had a throwable golden fish that dealt 200 damage. Body shots, headshots, it didn't matter. Instant elim every time. The catch, its hitbox was absolutely tiny, so most of the time you were just yeeting sushi across the map for nothing. It could have been ranked way higher for the damage, the memes,
take that toast,
and the insane rarity, but these days it's pretty common in modes like Reload and Blitz.
In Reload, it spawns in chests with the highest mythic spawn rate at 0.12%.
Which kinda spoiled the magic. At number 24, it's Iron Man's Unibeam. And I know what you're thinking, this should be way higher. It melted through builds like a hot knife through butter, and it could wipe out entire squads in one blast. Fun fact, it was actually the only mythic in Fortnite history that could take out 99 players in a single beam.
Yes!
This thing was straight up busted.
Wow.
But it had one huge problem, the charge up. You were completely exposed. If you caught players off guard, it was broken. But if a sweat spotted you powering up, you got cooked before the beam even fired. At number 23, we have Sky's Mythic Scar. And in a time before red dot sights or first-person scopes, this thing was the most broken AR Fortnite had ever seen. With less bloom than the regular Scar and a way higher fire rate, it absolutely melted. And here's the busted part. Back then, AR still had double headshot multiplier. That means Sky's Scar could hit for a disgusting 74 headshot. Landing even one shot felt insane, and hitting 2 or 3 back-to-back basically deleted players instantly. It quickly became one of the most hunted mythics in Chapter 2, and for a good reason. This thing was a laser. But that wasn't the only thing Sky had up her sleeve. At number 22, it's Sky's Mythic Grappler, and unbelievably, Sky dropped it right alongside the Scar, meaning if you beat her, you walked away with 2 mythics for the price of 1. The Grappler had crazy range, but the craziest part, infinite uses. You could dip out of fights, chase kids down.
Yo, I'm going in, bro. I don't care.
Or yoink high ground whenever you wanted. And considering at the time, the only real mobility was crash pads and boats, this thing felt insanely busted. Sealing in at number 21, we've got Ship in a Bottle. And this thing was pure chaos.
Oh my gosh. That's what it does. That seems immensely overpowered.
You'd throw it down, an entire pirate galleon would spawn in, smashing through anything in its path.
Yeah!
As if that wasn't enough, McCreamy had found a crazy glitch with it that literally turned him into a giant.
Oh, I'm pretty big. I'm pretty big. I am a literal giant right now.
And needless to say, the rest of the lobby didn't stand a chance.
That is crazy. We did it.
At number 20, we have Darth Vader's lightsaber, and this thing was a beast.
I kind of went ham on them. I'm not going to lie.
You could slash your enemies, block bullets, and even yeet it across the map like a Sith boomerang.
Like this.
The only problem is you actually had to beat Vader to get it, and that was easier said than done. Swinging on in at 19, it's Spider-Man's web shooters. Easily one of the most fun mythics ever.
This is so great.
And the easiest to get too. They had crazy range at a whopping 80 uses, so running out was basically impossible. And unlike most mythics that spawned only once, these things were everywhere, with multiple spawn points so everyone got a chance to swing around like Spidey. Players expected them to be clunky, but they were so good and Nick A30 couldn't believe it.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait, you do spins too? Wait.
Sure, as a pure mobility item, they weren't as busted as some of the other mythics higher on this list. But the fun factor alone was enough to earn them a spot in the top 20.
Yeah. Oh. I'm pretty impressed with that.
At 18, we've got Brutus's minigun, and this thing was ridiculous. The regular minigun was crazy enough, but the Brutus version had better accuracy, faster spit up, and longer overheat time.
I see your minigun. I think mine's a little stronger.
It took things to the next level, and as someone W-keyed you with it, it was pretty much game over.
Oh, this is just mean.
The insane power of this gun made the Grotto one of the most contested POIs in Fortnite history. Pro players like Chap and Tfue fought fought over it every game, turning Brutus's hideout into a straight up war zone. If you walked out with this minigun, you were already halfway to the win. At number 17, it's Wolverine's Claws.
Absolutely bodied. The hunter is hunting.
They gave you go-to mobility, endless melee attacks, and even passive health regen. But the real craziness wasn't using the claws, it was getting them. The Wolverine NPC was stupid hard to kill.
What did I do to you?
And most games, he would just end up with more elims than even the toughest sweat in the lobby. At number 16, we've got the Enhanced Havoc Pump. When this thing first dropped, it was downright disgusting.
240 damage, bro. Are you kidding me?
A clean headshot dealt a ridiculous 250 damage. That means you could even one-pump players in 0 builds.
Oh!
Something no other shotgun has ever been able to do.
I kill both. One shot.
And the wildest part, it actually needed fewer pellets to hit a max damage compared to other pumps. So landing one shots was almost too easy. Believe it or not, at 15, we've got an even more broken shotgun.
So this thing is very, very powerful.
But for completely different reasons. When the Spire Assassin's Primal Shotgun first dropped, players were shocked at how busted it was.
He had 200 health. I was able to put him down super, super fast.
Fully automatic, firing in 2-round bursts with an insane fire rate and stupidly high damage.
Whoa, that gun is crazy.
It felt like Fortnite had totally lost their minds adding this thing. It was so overpowered on launch that Epic had to nerf it almost immediately. And sadly, as the season went on, they just kept making it worse and worse until it was basically useless. Most players only remember the weak version because we had it for most of the season. But if you play it on day 1 of Primal, you'll never forget how terrifyingly broken the shotgun really was.
Ooh, you hold left click and you just poop on them.
At 14, we've got the Shockwave Hammer. And this one was totally bonkers.
That frog got tenderized. You could turn them into a chicken nugget or a frog nugget, I guess.
You could bounce around the map like a pinball,
Yeet!
crash through builds, and smash players for chunky damage.
Oh, slam them. What are you gonna do, buddy?
Half the time it was mobility, half the time it was a weapon, and all the time it was one of the most fun mythics Fortnite's ever had. But the really crazy part, players discovered glitches where you could get the shockwave forever. So Fortnite had to vault it mid-season just to get things back under control. Coming in at number 13, we have Kit's Shockwave Launcher. And this thing was so overpowered, it was straight up trolling. It used rocket ammo, which basically means he had infinite mobility.
Bam, baby! Hit you with the peanut butter jam!
You could crash through builds, yeet entire squads into the storm, and farm free wins for days. But if that wasn't crazy enough, Kit wasn't done there. He also dropped the Mythic Charge Shotgun. And while most players like to meme on the charge because they thought it wasn't the greatest,
This shotgun is just so terrible. I don't know how to play it.
this version was a different beast entirely.
Can't complain about that type of damage coming out.
It had a faster charge time, ridiculous damage. And when you combo it with the Shockwave Launcher, you can fly in and one-pump enemies before they even knew what hit them.
Matrix user question.
Together, these two mythics didn't just give you an edge. They were so crazy, they basically guaranteed you the win. At 11, we've got one of the most famously busted mythics in Fortnite history, the Deku Smash. Once the animation started, you already knew it was too late. Massive damage, insane range, and no real counter except praying that they missed.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Deku.
It was so overpowered that Epic had to disable it multiple times just to stop it from wiping entire lobbies. And even today, just hearing the words Deku Smash is enough to send shivers down most players' spines.
What? This is wild!
Kicking off at top 10, it's the Kamehameha. This was Fortnite's very first anime collab mythic, and they kicked things off with a bang. This mythic literally gave you Goku's ultimate move, and it was just as broken as it sounds. With near infinite range and insane damage, it could wipe out an entire squad in a single blast. It was so overpowered that Fortnite had to limit it to supply drops and vending machines, just to stop it from completely breaking the game. No doubt, the Kamehameha will go down as one of the craziest mythics in Fortnite history.
Holy crap!
At number 9, it's Zeus's Lightning, a mythic that literally let you summon the powers of a Greek god. You'd levitate up into the sky before calling down a trio of thunderbolts, obliterating anyone below.
What?
The visuals were absolutely insane, and the damage was off the charts. You could shred whole squads in seconds. It was so busted that lobbies basically turned into a lightning storm, with players spamming bolts left, right, and center.
Oh my gosh.
If you ever face this thing, you know exactly why it earns a spot in the top 10. Coming in at number 8, the Symbiote Grab.
Oh my god, this is the best!
Basically two mythics, Venom and Carnage, but they were the same. And honestly, both were complete nightmare fuel.
Literally just rolling through sweats.
1 minute, you'd be boxed up, feeling safe. The next, a giant red or black tendril would rip you straight through your builds, usually headfirst into a pump shotgun.
Oh, I got him. Oh.
It was unique, terrifying, and completely uncounterable.
Yoink. Nope.
Squads would get dismantled in seconds, and lobbies basically turned into horror movies.
Oh, that felt good.
This mythic wasn't just powerful, it was pure chaos. Coming in at number 7, it's the Hollow Purple. Easily one of the flashiest mythics Fortnite's ever added. Part of the Jujutsu Kaisen collab, it let you charge up a massive purple orb of energy. Then you hurled it forward as it disintegrated everything in its path. It wasn't just strong, it was pure cinema.
Bye, brother. Have a good day.
The sound, the visuals, the sheer anime energy of it all made it feel like every use was a scene out of a movie. Not many mythics managed to be both terrifying and jaw-droppingly cool.
Oh my god, bro. Come on.
And now you're done.
But somehow, the Hollow Purple nailed it, and that's why it sits firmly in the top 10. At number 6, we have the Overclocked Pulse Rifle, easily the strongest AR in Fortnite history.
He just edited it out at the worst possible time.
With near perfect accuracy, insane damage, and zero recoil, this thing defined an entire meta. To originally get it, you had to capture the floating island, which instantly turned into the sweatiest location on the map. But if you managed to win the fight and get the Pulse Rifle, it was wraps for the rest of the lobby.
Probably the two sweatiest kids in this whole lobby gone.
And in squads, it got even more busted.
It's OP, but I love that in squads it drops you one for everyone.
Meaning you could roll out a literal firing squad of mythic pulses.
He just stopped moving.
At 5, it's the MYTHICS drum gun. Hands down the craziest mythic of Chapter 2. And not just because of its busted stats. Sure, it had absurd fire rate and damage. But what really pushed it over the edge was the timing.
I don't even fight people anymore. I don't even like use logic. I just run in their boxes.
It dropped right at the peak of controller aim assist, when it was pretty much verging on aimbot. And the drum gun plus aim assist combo was so broken that even pro players like 6-time FNCS winner champ Epic Whale swapped from mouse and keyboard to controller just to abuse it. It became one of the most famous and most iconic mythics in Fortnite history. Loved, hated, and fought over in every single lobby. And number 4, it's the Powers of Doom. A mythic so insane that a lot of players didn't even realize it technically counted as well. Once you captured the island, you could literally transform into Dr. Doom.
What power do you have now?
I'm in the
Wait, where'd you
air!
go?
That meant 1,000 health, the ability to fly, spam lasers, hurl bombs, and even crash down cause some total destruction.
You have no power.
It was so strong that if you became Dr. Doom, the victory royale was basically guaranteed. And at that point, the rest of the lobby was just fighting for second place. At number 3, we've got the Godzilla transformation.
Oh my god.
This turned you into literally Godzilla.
I am Godzilla.
Complete with massive health and ridiculously overpowered attacks that could flatten cities and shred entire lobbies.
Yo, look at the kill feed.
It wasn't just strong, it was a pure spectacle. The second Godzilla showed up, Fortnite stopped being a battle royale and turned into a Hollywood movie. And number 2, it's the Infinity Gauntlet, the OG mythic transformation.
Let's go, baby.
And the very first mythic Fortnite's ever added. One of the most iconic collabs in gaming history. This let you literally become Thanos.
Oh, here we go, boys.
This is the best day of my life.
You're dead meat, brother.
You got super jumps, laser beams, and smash attacks that sent enemies flying.
Wow, I sent that guy flying.
You can't stop me, mortal.
It was crazy overpowered and insanely fun. But the really broken part was the health. Becoming Thanos granted you 300 shield and 700 health. But your shield regenerated on every elimination.
And you're dead, and I have my shield back.
That basically turned you into a purple and gold tank, steamrolling the lobby and all but guaranteeing you the victory royale.
Gotcha. Oh my god.
Finally, taking the crown at number 1, we're going with the Infinity Blade. And for one very particular reason. When it first dropped, casual players were hyped out of their minds. But to actually get it, that was easier said than done. The entire lobby would land at Polar Peak.
Oh my god. Yeah, so like the entire server's really just going for it, eh?
And it would take hundreds of attempts before you managed to pick it up.
So close!
When you finally did though, it was insane.
Yeah! Yay! Yay!
The blade gave you 200 health and 200 shield, and as long as you weren't in a fight, it regenerated back to full like a never-ending slurp. Add in the ability to leap through builds like they weren't even there, and devastating attacks. It was already one of the most busted items Fortnite's ever seen.
Holy bro.
But what really makes it the craziest mythic of all time was the timing. For some reason, without warning, Fortnite added it right in the middle of Winter Royale, a $1 million tournament. Chaos erupted.
He's a god!
Pros threw out months of practice just to hot drop at Polar Peak
Oh my gosh, the amount of players that are diving for Polar Peak.
and roll the dice on the blade. Fortnite eventually nerfed it hard, but the damage was already done. An entire tournament, careers, players' whole lives had already been flipped upside down forever. And that's why the Infinity Blade will always be remembered as one of the craziest mythics in Fortnite history. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.